Welcome back. Now, in the last 1.5 years, the executive arm of government has lost all major cases brought before the law courts questioning decisions and executive orders issued out by President Uhuru Kenyatta, from formulation of the Nairobi metropolitan services to the legality of the position of chief administrative secretaries to the latest bombshell dropped by a 5-judge bench of the High Court on Thursday that the BBI process is null and void. President Uhuru Kenyatta's legal counsel has been put under sharp focus on exactly what legal advice they give the head of state. KTN's Timothy Otieno reports on a series of legal defeats by the president that is now sending an indictment on the office of the government's chief legal advisor.
President Uhuru Kenyatta's string of legal battle defeats began in 2019 when, through the Attorney General's own advice, he rejected the appointment of 41 judges to the High Court. The president had integrity issues with some of them. The matter was taken to court, and despite 2 separate rulings in favor of the nominated judges and magistrates, the head of state is yet to pen the appointment.
We have seen Ouko, who was just... the name was forwarded yesterday. He's already been appointed.
Another perceived legal blunder by the president's legal advisors was witnessed when the courts poured cold water on the creation of the posts of chief administrative secretaries. The ruling suggested that 29 CASs sworn into office by the president in 2018 were appointed illegally. That same ruling by the courts questioned why second-term cabinet secretaries were serving without undergoing fresh vetting, something the AG should have pointed out to the head of state.
It is disaster for the office of the Attorney General. We never saw this during Professor Githu Muigai's tenure. We are seeing blunder after blunder.
Under Article 156 of the Constitution, the Attorney General's role includes promoting the rule of law and advising the President on legal matters, including assessing the legality of positions before creating them. That last role would come into sharp focus in June 2020, when the High Court once again criticized the creation of the Nairobi metropolitan services, a child born out of a ceremony which saw then Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko transfer some functions of the county to the national government. In a case in which the Attorney General was representing the government, the courts ruled that the transfer of functions was unconstitutional because the county assembly had not been involved. This decision would, however, be vacated by the same court in September last year. The string of legal downfalls shines a spotlight on the role the Attorney General is playing in advising the president.
How did it happen that the president can lose his judiciary, or in this case the High Court, so much that you can lose 99% of an important case? That's a big question that must be answered.
The recent indictment of the BBI process by the High Court only adds to a growing list of cases the country's chief lawyer is losing, putting to question whether or not he is offering any sound advice to the president, or his counsel is being ignored, or if simply the AG is misadvising the head of state.
People like the Attorney General who advises the presidency, don't expect them to give cogent and proper and independent view to their superiors. They will always tailor their opinions.
Since assuming office in March 2018, Paul Kariuki Kihara has been accused by critics of remaining aloof, especially when responding to issues involving his advice to the president. Whether the recent spat of legal flops at the courts will change his style remains to be seen. Timothy Otieno, KTN News.
And still on that, the High Court ruling declaring the entire BBI process null and void caught many leaders unawares. For many months, BBI had been linked to